is everybody doing this evening? We have a lot to get into for tonight's show. I was scanning the interwebs today. I was scanning the interwebs. I was doing a little of this. I came across an article from the Daily Mail. Let's get right into this. Let's not wait. We're going to get right into it this evening. The Daily Mail. Boom. Let's make the screen a little larger here. We got some controversy going on, and I thought that something like this was going to start to happen. And I said that this was going to cause an issue, but from the Daily Mail, family of Idaho murder victim Ethan Chapin questions why surviving roommate DM didn't call the cops after hearing crying and screaming, and claims she called all of the girls in the house. There was phone calls to all of the girls from DM in the house rather than calling 911. Ethan's sister-in-law posted comments on Reddit after the murders took place. She claims that DM called her roommates rather than police. Mortensen said she heard screaming and crying on the night of the murders. Says a family member of murdered University of Idaho student Ethan Chapin has questioned why the surviving roommate of the slayings didn't call the police. An account believed to belong to Ethan's sister-in-law made several posts online before the arrest affidavit was unsealed for the suspected quadruple killer Bryan Kohberger. I am sorry, I am a stutterer. So yeah, it's not probably the best thing for a live show, but I do stutter, and I have terrible stuttering, so I apologize. The court document detailed how surviving roommate DM came face to face with the masked man on the night of the murders. And it goes on to say Ethan 20, his girlfriend Xana, Maddie 21, and Kaylee 20 were all killed as they slept in the house on November 13th, and that is in 2022. His sister-in-law has since revealed that D, who was in the property at the time of the killings, along with BF, called all the roommates after she heard screaming and crying coming from the house. This raises a lot of questions. She called the roommates that night. She called their phones. There was no answer. And I've said that I've had an issue with this. Why was she not calling the police? If she heard screaming, she heard crying, she said that in the PCA. It's quoted in there. But she decided to go back in her room and wait till the morning, late in the morning, called her friends first to come to the house, and then made that phone call just around noontime the next day. Posting in a thread on Reddit, she said, D supposedly called all the girls in the house after crying and screaming stopped and no one answered, and she still didn't call the police. She needs to explain herself and her actions that night. When questioned about who called the police, she added the 911 caller was the friend who went in because D called him to come over because she was scared from what she heard that night. She was scared from what she heard that night. Why were you not calling the police? I've always had an issue with this. You can go back to all of my videos and all of my live streams. I've had an issue with this. He went to Xana and Ethan's room first, then called 911. Why D&B didn't call the police once is the question. The affidavit revealed that M came face to face with a bushy-eyed, browed killer, but was spared along with F. M told police that she heard several scuffles throughout the night and opened the door where she saw the suspect dressed in all black with a mask covering his face and heard one of the housemates, "There's someone here. There's someone here." and then you're calling your roommates. There's no response. Why are you not calling the police? Why are you not even calling a friend at that point? Hey, can you come over? Can you check out? I think something might be going on. Can you just come over here and check on things? I'm scared to come out of my room. Can you just come to the house? We know that people came to and from that house at all hours of the night. What's the problem? M told police that I already read that. I'm fired up. I'm fired up tonight. That's the issue. I'm fired up. She also heard the suspect say, "It's okay. I'm here to help you." That is so creepy. And that quote is something that continuously goes over in my head. It's okay. I'm here to help you. That bothers me. And that one I can't put my thumb on that one. Maybe that's to get close to the victim. Maybe that's to act like you're just one of these people that come and go all the time. It's okay. I'm here to help you. As he wandered the house committing the atrocity. Police confirmed that the 911 call was made from the phone of one of the surviving roommates at 11:58 a.m. At 11:58 a.m. the next day. I got issues with that. And I've had issues with that, and I've talked about it. Who requested help for the unconscious person, though it has not been confirmed who spoke to police. That'll come out in trial, if this goes to trial. It has raised the question of why M didn't contact authorities sooner, with some arguing that she may have been in a frozen by fear. Frozen by fear. So here's the post on Reddit. It says Ethan's sister-in-law has been verified. 911 caller was the friend who went in because D called him to come over because she was scared from what she had heard that night. He went to X and E rooms first and then called 911. Why D or B didn't call the police once is the question. And I knew as time went on, this was going to be a thing. I knew these questions would be raised. Goes on to say X and E were in their room by the Ethan's sister-in-law verified account on Reddit. Many questions why it took her so long to raise the alarm after hearing crying and coming face to face with the killer. And then from the court document from the PCA, it says DM stated that she looked out of her bedroom, didn't see anything when she heard the comment about someone being in the house. DM stated that she opened the door a second time when she heard that she thought she heard crying coming from Canoodle's room. DM said that she heard a male voice say something to the effect of, "It's okay. I'm here to help you." It's okay. I'm here to help you. If you guys can do me a favor, really quick, smash that like button down below, please. I would appreciate it. We're going to move on here. It says the roommate did not contact the authorities for 6 hours despite hearing several of her roommates in distress, as well as witnessing the killer. M told cops that she woke up around 4 a.m. by what sounded like a victim, KG, playing with her dog in the third floor bedroom. She said she looked out her bedroom and didn't see anything, looked again on the second occasion when she thought XK was crying. M stated she opened the door for a third time after she heard crying and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask covering the person's mouth and nose walking towards her. Why are you not calling the police? I've had an issue with this. I've had issues with this, and I don't know why. There's this big defense. Oh, well, she's scared. And she's gonna go in the room. Da, 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 da. I got issues with this. I've had issues with this. And I think there's still a lot of questions that need to be answered around this. And I hope that we hear more about this. I hope we hear about it in trial. I hope we hear more about it in the next coming months, because there is information being leaked now. People are talking. People that are close to this case are talking. And we're hearing stuff. We got a long ways to go till June. So after the man moved towards her, she said that she remained in a frozen shock phase as he continued past her, but let her survive. There are many, many questions. The online discussion also distincted where the bodies were found, with relative adding that both X and E were found in their room. And then, we heard some conversation yesterday that E was actually found in the hallway. And what I'm probably guessing is maybe, some reports are saying in the room, some reports are saying in the hallway. Was he halfway in, halfway out? We're not going to really know all of this detail until trial, if there is a trial. Take a second, smash that like button down below. I would appreciate it. Back to the PCA. DM stated she opened the door for the third time after hearing crying and saw a figure clad in black clothing, a mask, and cover the person's mouth, nose, walking towards her. DM described the figure as 5'10" or taller, male, not very muscular, but athletically built with bushy eyebrows. The male she saw him. She was that close in the dark to make the distinction of this person. Bushy eyebrows. That's how fucking close she was to him. Now, again, we don't know if there were any lights on in the house. There could have been a light in the kitchen, maybe through that that back slider. There's a lot of light. And you're going to see in a couple minutes here, I'm going to bring up the King Road residents. Daily Mail just went out there about a couple of days ago and just showed the surrounding area. And I've only seen it from photographs. I haven't seen any video. So they did kind of a 360-degree walk around the house. Gives you kind of an idea of what it was like that night. But we're going to play that in a second. Ethan's mother also urged those affected by the tragedy to look ahead as the suspect makes his way through the courts. Stacey Chapin said that nothing changed since Kohberger's arrest, and the mourners should direct their anger elsewhere. It comes after sources told News Nation that Xana fought back against her attacker and repeatedly grabbed the knife used in the attacks. Sources claim that her fingers were nearly severed from the student trying to fight back, with her father, Jeffrey Knodel, giving the same information in November. He told CBS 5 the autopsy report showed that her daughter's skin showed bruising and torn by the knife. The FBI has also been forced to deny losing the suspect quadruple killer just moments after he left the apartment in Pullman, Washington, with his father, Michael, to return home to Pennsylvania. The pair just pulled out of the parking lot of his graduate house before he vanished sight, before pulling over twice. I mean, we already know these details. We already know this. I'm not gonna read too much more of this, but I wanted to talk about those Reddit posts. And there's still a lot of questions among these families of why the police were called so late. And that has been a very big sitting issue with myself. On my own channel, I've talked about it. It bothers me. It bothers me. And it should bother all of you. Let me see if there's any more posts here. The Reddit. Yeah. Hang on one second here. Let's read this here. New search warrant made public on January 17th shows that police found several hair strands, including one suspected animal hair, a black glove, computer tower, and an unnamed item with a collection of dark red spots. They also hauled away a pillow with a reddish brown stain on it and the top of a bottom of a mattress cover with multiple stains. Hang on one second. Let me just get to this chat. Susan, thank you for checking in this evening. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. We got a lot to go through this evening. Let me get back to this article in a second. I just have to check something really quick, guys. Hang in there 2 seconds. Oh, good old YouTube. All right. Taking care of that. Now it's back to business. Investigators who raided the property back in December also picked up receipts from Walmart, 2 Marshall receipts, as well as collecting the contents of the vacuum cleaner. Authorities initially sealed the search warrant for the murder suspect, Washington, arguing the release of the data details could prematurely end the investigation. However, the documents have been since unsealed with the approval of the Whitman County prosecutor, Dennis Tracy, who filed the motion on January 17th. The court documents show that 8 strands of hair were recovered from the apartment, as well as possible animal hair. They also recovered a fire stick during the search, all the items now being stored in the Washington University Police Department. Authorities reportedly said that they wanted to see if the hair had been transferred onto Kohberger and then back to his apartment, including that of Kaylee Gonzalez's dog, Murphy. Murphy was found alive in Kaylee's room by the investigators, who were called to the scene and is now returned to her ex-boyfriend. The application also states that the home where the students were murdered had a significant amount of blood from the victims, including splatter and cast-off. Investigators believe that likely the killer would have had blood evidence on their clothing or body and hope to find trace evidence in Kohberger's apartment. However, they did not describe the results of any of the testing in the documents and did not confirm any hairs matched any of the victims or Kaylee's dog. His offices at Washington State University were also searched, but nothing was seized by the officers. So again, I have issues. I still have issues with the time that it took to call the police. I have a lot of issues with that still. And I've talked about that.